All across the world, there are reports of impossible to explain flying disc-shaped aircraft that demonstrate capabilities that violate all known laws of physics and appear to be technologically far too advanced to be explained in the modern day. In fact, there are more than 8,000 annual cases of sightings of such craft every single year, with thousands more going unreported for fear of ridicule. These sightings, however, are not the most extraordinary stories surrounding these impossible-to-explain craft, but rather the peculiar forms of life that seem to inhabit them. Often described as humanoid, the pilots of these craft vary from all shapes, sizes, species, and behaviors, from small 3-foot-tall little grey men to 10-foot-tall sasquatch-like creatures to lanky 7-foot-tall insect-like creatures that look eerily similar to the praying mantis. Although UFO and alien enthusiasts have often been quick to proclaim that such sightings and encounters are evidence of extraterrestrial life visiting from faraway planets and solar systems, there appears to be a profound amount of evidence that has been growing over the past several decades, gathered by independent research efforts on a ranch out in the middle of nowhere, that has started to chip away at these claims and posited a far more terrifying theory. Perhaps these sightings, these craft, and these extraterrestrial sightings are not extraterrestrial at all, but a matter of the interdimensional. So today, here at Unexplained Mysteries, we will be going over the mystery and evidence gathered at the Skinwalker Ranch and the possible interdimensional technology behind it that has led to mass visitation of our little blue planet. Thank you for watching. Utah Basin is no stranger to the supernatural, paranormal, or extraterrestrial. In fact, the area is so familiar with the unexplainable that it led to a joint investigation between the privately owned company Bigelow Aerospace and the United States government's military, the Department of Defense. Over a period of about 20 years, a joint investigation was made to uncover the cause of the paranormal, supernatural, and extraterrestrial sightings made across the Utah Basin and determine whether or not the cause was a threat to national security. This led to the purchasing of a piece of land that would later be referred to as the Skinwalker Ranch, due to the region's massive amount of sightings of a terrifyingly humanoid monster known as the Skinwalker. In his book titled The Hunt for Skinwalker Ranch, co-author George Knapp discusses how the ranch, previously owned by a family known as the Gorman family, appeared to be a focal point of the unexplainable activity, featuring anything from sightings of little grey aliens, Bigfoot, skinwalkers, direwolves, unidentified flying objects, and poltergeist activity. Interestingly enough, over the 20 years of investigation, a surprising amount of evidence came forward that would help to explain the previously believed paranormal causes into something far more evident of advanced technologies. As is common with alien abduction stories, many abductees will often claim that evidence of an abduction having taken place is experiencing a dramatic sudden loss of time. A number of witnesses residing within the Utah Basin have claimed to have suddenly been walking through their house at night only to find themselves staring at the clock and noticing huge chunks of time missing from their memory, with others claiming that while they had been driving, they found themselves parked at the side of the road, realizing that they must have been asleep for several hours. What kind of advanced technology, if any, could cause such sudden lapses in time and awareness? During the NIDS's investigation, researchers gathered the witness testimony of the Gorman family, the family that used to reside at the Skinwalker Ranch, and the troubles they faced with the ongoing paranormal and supernatural activity they witnessed. In one such story, the Gormans talked about how their missing cattle had been a devastating blow to their finances and how their last ability to make a profit rested with 4 2,000-pound bulls in an iron-gated pen resting a few hundred yards from their home. Almost as if listening in on the conversation, when the couple reached the bull pens, they noticed that all 4 bulls were missing from their locked pens with no evidence of destruction. After contacting the researchers, the bulls were found crammed into a locked and closed trailer with no way of entering or exiting, with all 4 of the bulls standing side by side in a perfectly docile mood, seemingly stuck in a hypnotic trance. When the researchers entered the trailer in an attempt to coax the bulls back into the bullpen, almost as if a sudden switch had been flipped, the bulls snapped out of their hypnotic trance and began kicking and breaking the trailer apart in a terrible fit of rage. The researchers were not only unable to explain how the bulls entered inside the trailer, they were unable to explain the strange display of sudden behavior shifts in the bulls that allowed them to have been moved into the trailer in a docile state before the arrival of the team. Despite this lack of explanation from the researchers, however, Unexplained Mysteries proposes a theory as to the cause of the bulls' sudden behavioral shift. Back in 1964, the neurological researcher Jose Manuel Rodriguez Delgado, later referred to as the pioneer of electrical brain stimulation, conducted a dramatically demonstrated research test that could prove the viability and theory that electrical brain stimulation, when applied in controlled manners, could not only manipulate an organism's muscle movements and contractions, but could more than influence the creature's entire behavior as well. Known as the stymorceiver, Delgado invented a small device that could be implanted into the brain of an animal and used to give remote-controlled electrical stimulation to specific parts of the brain for controlled behavior. After conducting brain surgery to impact his electrode into the skull of a Spanish bull, Lucero of Cordoba, Spain, Delgado got into the bullfighting ring with the creature surrounded by a crowd of onlookers and waited for the bull to charge him. When it did, Delgado activated his remote-controlled electrode only a few meters from being hit by the bull, which instantly caused the raging bull to come to an immediate halt. Almost in an exact instant, the bull seemed to lose all of its aggression and violence and laid down in a calm and relaxed demeanor. Just like the docile behavior of the caged bulls on the Skinwalker Ranch, Delgado's bull seemed to become completely oblivious to the presence of Delgado and went into a hypnotic, dulled state. Could electrical brain stimulation have been the cause for the Skinwalker Ranch bulls suddenly becoming docile and being led into a tight and compacted trailer? Oddly enough, the NIDS's research group found that the iron gate that fenced the bulls in were suddenly completely magnetized around the area. The magnetization of iron was most likely caused from a powerful electromagnetic field in the region of unknown origin. This heavily implies, however, that only moments before the bull's strange personality shift, there was a powerful electromagnetic field that suddenly arose and caused the bulls to undergo a specified and controlled behavior. Rather than the paranormal ability of a poltergeist, a conscious intelligence with advanced technologies capable of creating strong electromagnetic fields could have used such technology to apply specific electrical brain stimulation and lead to the docile hypnosis and control of the Skinwalker bulls, just like Delgado's experiments demonstrated more than 60 years ago. Could it be that when individuals experience a sudden loss of time and undergo hypnotic trances shortly before and after an alien abduction event, they could be the victim of an impossible-to-explain electrical brain stimulation caused via a powerful but direct electromagnetic weapon used by otherworldly beings? Interestingly enough, another recorded story from the Skinwalker Ranch researchers could prove to be a profound piece of supporting evidence for this claim. One of the strangest pieces of supernatural encounters from the Gorman family was that of the instantaneous cattle mutilation that took place no more than about 20 feet away from them as they fed their livestock. According to the Gorman family, their cattle had been in a small field together with a baby calf resting beside its mother as the cows were being fed. Suddenly, the family claimed that the mother cow began bellowing sadly as it ran in circles with a partial limp that seemed to be a form of temporary paralysis. When the family walked to the cow to see what was wrong, they noticed that the calf had been cut open and picked completely clean with a precision that was more akin to surgical tools. In a few seconds, it took them to walk from the calf down the field 20 feet and then back again. When the researchers investigated the mutilation, they found that the hide of the calf was too thick to have been cut by a knife and would have required surgical tools and a large amount of time to have performed the procedure, leaving behind nothing but an untouched head and a skeleton picked completely clean. Although the family claims that next to no time had passed, could the entire area have been under the influence of an electromagnetic field that caused a docile hypnosis and temporary amnesia that led the inhabitants into believing no time had passed while an unknown entity conducted a mutilation experiment in the field unseen? The partial paralysis of the calf's mother seems to support that theory overwhelmingly. There are few known scientific causes of temporary paralysis in individuals, but one of the most well-known causes is that of partial damage to an animal's nervous system or misfiring signals from the brain to the nervous system. Similar to how REM sleep will temporarily cause the body to undergo paralysis to prevent an individual from kicking out in their sleep, could the electromagnetic fields caused by some unknown entity have caused an adverse effect on the mother cow's nervous system that caused it to temporarily enter into a partial limb paralysis when exposed to its radiating field? Countless accounts of extraterrestrial encounters in the past have often remarked that close encounters with alien craft have often led to neurological problems. Could this be evidence of a form of neurological control or influence? Often referred to as poltergeist interference, there seems to be a tremendous amount of evidence of time loss, hypnotically induced trance states, sudden amnesia, and controlled electromagnetic fields capable of manipulating an organism's behavior instantaneously. Rather than a paranormal or supernatural cause, the evidence points to a clear use of advanced technologies that can not only control their victims, but can allow the unknown entities to remain unseen while conducting real-time experiments in front of their victims without them knowing it. But what do you all think of these yet-to-be-explained stories surrounding the witness accounts of the encounters on the Skinwalker Ranch and the theory of electromagnetic psychological interference? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comment section below and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. And once again, thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.